Hey guys, this is Chaney77, coach of the Brisbane Heatrans, here with week 7 of the CBA. This week we're going up against Dr. Yansko and the San Antonio Espurrs, and his team consists of Necrozma, Suicune, Decidueye, Galvantula, Ninetales, Alolan, Hitmonlee, Sandslash, Alolan, Slurpuff, Gothorrhea, Mega Gardevoir, and Zygarde 10%. So, facing another weather team, Alolan Ninetales, with the Alolan Sandslash to abuse the hail. Definitely very threatening. I do believe that in the 3 games that Alolan Sandslash has come before this week, it's gotten like 9 kills or something crazy. But yeah, he's got the fat things in the Necrozma and Suicune, and the super hard hitters in Mega Guard and Zygarde 10%, as well as him having a 5-1 record before this game, coming into this game. So we're tied with him at the top, both 5-1. Definitely a very good battler, and he has brought some very interesting sets to sort of combat the standard stuff, to catch the opponent off guard. So prepping this week was definitely a challenge, but yeah, I feel like I brought a pretty solid team. Shout out to Offset and Azza for giving me some mocks. But the team that I brought, I've got Scarfed Jirachi with U-Turn, Fire Punch, Iron Head, and Heart Stamp. Heart Stamp so I could 2-hit KO the Galvantula, lead Galvantula, trying to get up webs. Hopefully I hit it with a Heart Stamp, flinch it, and then kill it. That was the hope and dream coming into this game, because webs webs really messes up my team. And you'll see kind of how I build to combat that. Next we got Scarf Thundy. Scarf Thundy outspeeds the Alolan Sandslash in the hail, provided that it's not scarfed, obviously. And yeah, it's just here to revenge kill some things, because otherwise Alolan Sandslash can get out of hand really quickly. So it has Incinerate, Dark Pulse, T-Bolt, and HP Ice. Yeah. Oh boy. Incinerate, Dark Pulse. No, Sludge Wave. To hit the guard. And next we got Medicham. Medicham quickly becoming a favorite mon of mine. Life Orb this week with Bullet Punch Fake Out, just to get some priority chip. Bullet Punch will OHKO the Alolan Sandslash so that, you know, I won't give it a chance to set up the Aurora Veil. Toxic to hit incoming fat stuff like Necrozma and Suicune, and then Magic Coat, just in case I get into a situation where I am against the Galvantula, and I can click it, because I didn't think I needed another move. Oh well, I didn't need another move, and Magic Coat was there just for tech. Next we got a Arcanine with the Electrian Z to catch that Suicune. Has Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Extreme Speed, and Howl. Howl just to boost my attack. Another little nice tech. Just Howl at +1 can 2-hit KO the fully defensive Necrozma, and has a, I don't think it can, at +1 it can 2-hit KO this weekend if I get off the Z move and then another wild charge. Next we have Serena here just to basically get the webs away. Also take a hit from Zygarde. Has the Citrus Berry and Acrobatics because Decidueye. I was a little bit scared of Decidueye possibly coming. And then it's got U-turn, Rapid Spin, and Synthesis. And then lastly, my Sneasel set, designed specifically to counter a Fat Guard, which in my opinion was probably the best guard to bring. So it's got SD, it's got Lumberry with SD, Taunt, Sub, and Throat Chop. Now Throat Chop is a new move introduced in Gen 7 that has gone under the radar. And what it does is it doesn't allow you to use sound moves. So things like Bug Buzz, things like Hyper Voice, as we see Galvantula and Mega Gardevoir, if I hit them, they won't be able to use those moves. So the Lumberry allows me to take a Will-O-Wisp as I Throat Chop it, and then Sub, and then it can't do anything, and I'm able to get up a free SD. So that was the thought process behind that, and yeah, I was really keen to get it off. Seeing the guard as well, and possibly the Galvantula would have been really interesting to see. So lead wise was always going to be Jirachi if I saw the Galvantula, and as we see, he leads with the Mega Guard. Now Mega Guard, it can take a Iron Head very easily. It doesn't even need max HP to take one. So knowing this, I'm just going to U-turn to get some chip, just to gauge its set, and it does a nice chunk, and go into Arcanine because no matter what it does, Arcanine's going to be able to take it pretty nicely. Resist the Hyper Voice, can eat a Will-O-Wisp, as you can see there, and just be able to threaten this out with a Flare Blitz. So I felt Arcanine was the play there, because I feel it's threatened. I'm just going to be able to get up a free Howl here, as we see. He actually goes for the Wish, which is interesting. Definitely confirming my suspicions that he'd be Fat Guard. So that's awesome to see. It's one step closer to getting that Sneasel set off, as he throws up the Wish. So I'm thinking he'll probably protect here, or try to pass it into something else like Suicune. So I'm just gonna Howl again. I get up to +2, and here I thought about clicking the Electrium Z Wild Charge. It would have done like 90%, if not killed it. But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, his Wild Charge is pretty obvious. He's either going to bait it, bait the Z move, go into Zygarde, eat it, or he has Rock Hard, which I thought was probably more easier. It's less risk all around. So I'm just gonna click Wild Charge, not click the Z move. As we see that he doesn't even have the Rock Hard, he stays in. So definitely unfortunate on my end, but I still think that was the right play, just for the reasons I stated. As we see, he goes for Raw, which is nice. I expected Raw Suicune because I have a Mega Gyarados Zygarde 50%. You know, things that can set up. Jirachi can set up. Thunder can set up. All these threatening setup options, Raw did definitely made sense, and was probably the best sweeping set to bring. As he rolls me out into Jirachi, which is fine. This allows me just to get off a U-turn. I get a nice little crit there, and I go into my Sneasel because I thought it was gonna rest. The rest seemed like the best play, and after not seeing the Wakan, I thought, you know, Resto Chesto. Not seeing any lefties either, so my thought was probably Resto Chesto. So I thought it was going to go for the rest here, which allows me to go into Sneasel and taunt it, set up a sub, and we go from there. But as you see, he goes for the Scold, and he catches the burn and burns my Lumberry. It's unfortunate, definitely. It basically puts me in a 50-50 with guard. Sadly, getting that 30% burn chance, definitely unfortunate, and a little upsetting, but it's okay. Sneasel, it's Sneasel. Anyway, so I'm going to go for the Throat Chop and take out the Suicune as he sends in the Mega Gardevoir, and I'm thinking, oh man, if I had my Lumberry here, this would be you know, awesome. This is the situation I wanted. But as you see, I go for Taunt. Now I went for Taunt because I didn't want him to Wish, and I wasn't able to kill this guard from 65 anyway with Throat Chop. I think it does, you know, 55 max, according to the calcs that I sort of guessed. That I guessed what his spread was. So I didn't want him to Wish and then get up to full, and then, you know, it becomes a problem to deal with. Even if he clicked Hyper Voice here, I have things that can take Hyper Voices. I got Jirachi, I got Arcanines, which would outspeed, which we saw before. So we got Metachan with the Bullet Punch. So we got a lot of things that can revenge kill this guard. So I thought Taunt was the better play. In my mind, it was still kind of a 50-50. Would he Willow? Would he Hyper Voice? Would he Willow or Wish? Or will he just attack? So I decided to Taunt, as he just Hyper Voices me and kills me. So if I had gone for the Throat Chop, that would have been that would have been play of the week, guaranteed. Anyway, he kills me off, and as I said, this just gives me free revenge killing opportunities, as I go into Arcanine, take it out with a Flare Blitz easily as he goes into Zydog. Zydog, I have a designated switch in Serena, and we see that, you know, he's Life Orb, which is interesting set. After seeing Life Orb, I'm thinking DD, because any other set doesn't really make too much sense with Life Orb. I mean, because Zygarde isn't that strong to begin with. It's only base 100, and Life Orb, you know, boosts its attack, sure, but it doesn't really break things with a Life Orb. So I was thinking DD, and from this range, Outrage doesn't kill me anyway, so I figured he's going to switch, so I'm just going to pivot out into with U-turn and go into Metachan, because Metachan gets a free Fake Out and a free Bullet Punch. So Fake Out, I could have definitely gone for the Bullet Punch straight off the bat and killed this thing, but I felt fake out was better, just in case he went. Nah, I don't know. I just want to fake out. I don't really know why I didn't click bullet punch. Yeah. Oh well. I click fake out and it does a good chunk. As I'm just going to click bullet punch here as he switches into sand slash. So good plays. I guess predicting me to not go for high jump kick, and and then just switching into sand slash, which is a good play. And my initial switch into this thing is always going to be Arcanine to get that intimidate drop. It's just so that it just doesn't do as much damage. And yeah, after intimidate drop, it's not too scary. I send in Jirachi, and I figured he was going to switch. The switch was pretty obvious, but I didn't want to risk him staying in because I wasn't able to hit KO this thing anyway. So I went for Fire Punch because damage on this Zydog is good. It puts him in range, of a lot of things, like fake out bullet punch, and a sludge wave or dark pulse from the Thunderous. So any damage on this thing is pretty nice, as it chews this Fire Punch pretty easily. And I'm just going to switch out into my Serena because as it sets up a DD. So here he has to go for Outrage, otherwise he won't be able to take out my Serena. If he went for 1000 arrows, I would have eaten my Citrus Berry and then done huge damage with Acrobatics, possibly even killed it because Zygarde's pretty frail. So he had to go for Outrage here, and once he outrages, I'm able to just go into Jirachi freely, chew this Outrage and kill with an Iron Head, which is really nice. Now here, I thought he'd go into Alon's Ninetales, but he actually decides to go into Alon's Sand Slash. Now Scarf I'm able to outspeed as he goes for the Icicle Crash, probably predicting my Thundy, because I would be scared of the Earthquake. But I figured at this point, Incinerate from Thundy, Oko's this thing, Oko's the Alolan Sand Slash, Oko's the Alolan Ninetales, and 2-hit KOs the Galvantula, whilst I'm also able to live a hit provided it's not like a boosting item. So if it's like the normal Focus Sash Galvantula, and even if it had Life Orb, it'd need a pretty high roll with Thunder to Oko my Thunderous. But even if it did get a crit or something, Medicham would be able to clean up. Anyway, so that's the reason why I stayed in with Jirachi, and went for Iron Head, as he went for Icicle Crash, so a little bit of an over prediction, but understandable why. He was, behind in the game, not knowing my Thundy set as well. So I'm just going to go for Iron Head again, get the lucky flinch, first flinch of the game or first flinch of the season with Scarf Jirachi, as he goes out into Galvantula, and once again it's just the sack really at this point. Goes for T-Wave, goes for the Sticky Wave, and yeah, hits this Thunder, gets an unnecessary crit, and at this point I can clean up with either Medicham or Thundy, but I decided to go into Thundy because it's actually pretty close to the MVP race. So it's actually, I think before this game it was 4th, Mega Gyarados was 1st, which is awesome. but I had the same kills as that. Mega Gyarados just had more deaths. So I decided to give the last 2 kills to Thundy, just able to clean up, and we're able to get a really good win over a really good opponent, putting us at 6-1, and putting us clear of just the clear lead of the CBA, which is really nice. Going into the playoffs, coming into the playoffs in about a month's time, it's good to get that strong position where we'll be able to get that first week bye. So yeah, that was a great game. Yansko close 2-0 victory, and yeah, next week we believe we go up against Dylan or Deloon and his squad, so it should be another great game, and I hope to catch you guys next week.